Hello, my name is Carolyn Dow, and I work with Seriatim Inc. We're move consultants and inventory specialists. And today we're going to be discussing essential estate planning with Sylvie Richards. She is an attorney here in New York City, and we're thrilled to have you with us today, Sylvie.
Thank you so much, Carolyn. Estate planning is the core of my work as an attorney, and I have this discussion with all of my clients.
All right, so then what would you say is the goal of an estate plan, and why do we need it?
An estate plan is not just for when you pass away. A good estate plan takes care of you and your assets throughout your life while also anticipating taking care of your loved ones when you're gone. The goal is to provide a legal structure that addresses both current and future priorities.
So is there a particular time that one can start? I always think of my son. Is he too young? He's 27, or is it milestones? Is it when they get married or have children? When would you say would be the best time to think about this?
Your son's a perfect example. It's never too early to have essential documents in place. And the life milestones that you mentioned certainly raise the stakes for needing legal guidance on these matters. I've I've had clients bring in their newborns. Clients come in when they're pregnant. I love it when these happy events are also the impetus for talking about estate planning with my clients.
Yeah, I'm sure you must get very involved with the families if you've been with them for so many years, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And the documents that all of my clients will get as just a starting point will be a will, a power of attorney, and advanced healthcare directives. Those are the basic documents that should be in everyone's possession.
Okay. Well, those sounds like big words, advanced directives. So what is the process by which to go about seeking those things out? What would you say?
So when somebody comes to me and retains me as their attorney, I will send them an intake form because I want to know more about them, about their family, about their assets, the buckets that their assets are in, so that we can do some good planning together. Um, to me, it really matters what a client's intentions are for their life now, and then for when they pass, what will happen to their families. And every family is different. Every individual is different. People always say to me, "Well, can you just give me the like your standard will?" There's no such thing
Yeah.
because there's no such thing as a standard family or a standard whatever. We're all different and we all have different people in our lives.
Yeah.
So the idea is that no matter what, we're going to look at the intake and then we're going to make decisions. So it may be that you have a special needs person in your family. We're going to need to plan for that person. It may be that we're going to set up some kind of trust to protect you, or maybe protect your assets, or protect future assets for your children. But we'll have a wide ranging discussion to make sure that everything is on the table. We've discussed everything and we're making proper decisions.
Right. No, that makes sense. I mean, as you know, working in the industry we work in, we're trying to gather what people have in their homes, and a lot of times it's when a parent passes, and if those things have not been clarified early on, I mean, we can see the stress and the difficult tension between the family members who at this point might not even be talking to each other just because they had different thoughts of what they thought was going to be the situation that we're in now. So I totally get that it's important to be clear and prepared. Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's also some misunderstandings I think out there. So people are always surprised to find out that a power of attorney is extinguished at the time that a person dies.
Mm.
So you may have a power of attorney, but and that's good during your lifetime, but if you don't have a will, the power of attorney is not a substitute for that. And vice versa, a will only takes effect once you die. If you don't have a power of attorney for when you're alive, we're sort of, again, we want to make sure that we cover all the bases, right, for everyone. Because if you don't, then you're putting yourself and your family in a position where the courts have to make those decisions. And the court may make a decision that might be contrary to your wishes. So,
Or where the government gets to take you're taxed on everything, and whatever you thought you had, guess what, it's not after you paid all the lawyers and the taxes, right?
exactly, exactly. And sometimes it's that people don't realize, and um, we have, particularly when it comes to long-term care of elderly people, or even, people who are incapacitated. The government program that provides for long-term care is Medicaid, not Medicare. And Medicaid has certain asset limits. And so we have to literally impoverish a client in order to get them to a place where the government will pay for their long-term care. Or we can do a trust and put the assets in a trust, hope that they live past the 5-year period before they need care, and then the government will pay for it without touching their assets.
Right.
And that's why, really looking at all of the variables of a person, their life, their health, their family, that becomes part of what a good estate plan is.
Right. No, these are very nuanced things. I mean, certainly I learned about long-term care a few years ago, but then Medicare, Medicaid, that's, oh my God, we could go on forever about that. Now, let me ask you a question. What about the people who sort of don't think about it? Like I was think of my mother saying to my father, "Oh, do we have a will?" Just as they're about to board the flight, and the response was always like, "Oh, you're wishing me bad luck on just as I'm about to travel." How do you make how do you avoid those kind of situations, I guess?
Well, it's interesting because so much of what people think about a will is associated with death.
Hmm.
And I always want them to associate it not with death, but with life planning. So if you think about, what are the things that you do to take care of your loved ones? Well, I mean, we feed them, we clothe them, we do all of these things, and we draft a will, right?
Right,
Does
we
all
plan ahead.
sorts of these things. And
Right,
sometimes it's helpful if it's associated not with crisis,
mm,
but with planning.
yeah,
I've had instances, and one recently, where I had a client in a crisis going in for surgery and needed a will. And so this was, a weekend of hard work making sure that she had the will in place before she went into surgery. Thankfully, she came out of surgery, things are
right,
good, but but hopefully her now that she's been through this period, she will tell people, It's not a frightening thing.
Right.
And we can do better. We can
Exactly.
do better with planning.
Well, I
And
think it's really about peace of mind.
oh,
It's just like you want the peace of mind before you fly. You want the peace of mind before you go under the anesthesia. You don't
absolutely.
want to wait to the last minute to get that peace of mind.
That's right. That's right. To me, it's knowing that you've done everything that you can. Is it perfect? Probably not, because nothing in life is. But the thing too to remember is that as your life situation changes, as the people in your life, their life situation changes, we can also change and amend these documents. So they're not set in stone. This is not the Rosetta Stone.
Right.
We can do amendments, we can do changes, um, and it's actually healthy to review your documents every few years.
Yeah, no, I think that's great advice. As a matter of fact, as soon as we're done, I'm going to be pulling out my very big fat folder and looking at things and bringing them over because I want to understand what I was thinking when I made those decisions and do I still feel the same way now and why,
Yes.
right?
Yes, absolutely. Because, as I said, your intentions when you're at a certain stage in life may not be your intentions today. And so, and also, circumstances may have changed that will cause you to rethink some things.
Of course.
Um, and and it's always healthy to have these conversations. You know, we, I tell my clients, just as you see your doctor once a year for an annual, just give a ring to your attorney and say, look, these are the things that changed in my life. Should we redo the documents? And the answer could be yes, or it could be no, we're still good for a while.
Right.
And
Right.
but now you have an answer, right?
Exactly.
You have that peace of mind.
Well, I think especially you, I mean, you have such a warm way about you, Sylvie. So it encourages somebody to have that conversation with you, these difficult conversations. And I just wanted to thank you so much, for sort of going into this. I know there's lots more areas to cover, but just really thank you so much for just sharing your
Ah,
perspective and being such an intelligent, warm, kind, trusted an estates attorney and friend.
thank you, Carolyn. Much appreciated. It's just been great having this conversation with you.